Alright, so this is the video about Civil War, the original comic book, and also I'm going to talk about Civil War, the film that's going to be coming out. It's actually going to be Captain America 3 Civil War. So, pretty much, this comic right here, Civil War, was came out a couple of years ago. I can't actually remember what year. I'm not gonna lie, but I remember whenever it came out, it was a pretty big deal. Pretty much what happened was there was the Superhero Registration Act came into effect, which was a mandatory registration for all heroes or anybody in the U.S. with superpowers to, register with the government. That was pretty much due to Nick Fury's Secret Wars, and also the Hulk went on a rampage in Las Vegas and killed like 26 people. And then M-Day, which was caused by Scarlet Witch, caused the mutant population to dwindle to 198 mutants. And this caused anti-mutant groups to back this act up and raise public support for the Superhero Registration Act. And if you're wondering why I keep on looking down, I got a lot of notes. So, in Stamford, Connecticut as well, the New Warriors, this just little no-name of kids, got up and they had a reality show where they tried to take on some supervillains to get better ratings. And during that fight, a villain known as Nitro, he had explosive powers. He blew himself up, which he blew up like a couple of city blocks, which also included an elementary school. It killed 600 people, 60 of them which were kids. The only people to survive that explosion was Speedball of the New Warriors and Nitro himself. Many superheroes, big name superheroes, came to help with the rescue and whatnot, but due to the actions, support for the Superhero Registration Act rose. The act split up the superhero community. Tony Stark was supporting it. Captain America was leading against it. Some heroes thought that it was a good idea for for superheroes to have training and oversight by the authorities and the government, but others thought that they needed the secret identity in order to protect themselves, their families, and whatnot to live normal lives. So people wouldn't be looking at them if something went awry if they were the superhero. They wouldn't blame them or their families or whatever. They would think, signing up would bring their families into danger. So then, in the story, anti-registration heroes still fought villains and left them, tied up or waiting for authorities to pick them up, while the people who did support the act were looking for other heroes that that weren't signed up already and arresting them. So the first person to sign up was Spider-Man. He was convinced by Iron Man to do so. Other big names in the stories was Wolverine. He went searching for Nitro, the guy that blew up Stamford, Connecticut, I believe it was. Let's see, I believe it was Stamford, Connecticut. Uh, let's see, yeah, Stamford, Connecticut. Yeah. So Wolverine went looking for him, and I have to say that one of those covers is really awesome because you actually get to see Wolverine. He goes up against Nitro, and Nitro blows himself up again, and then all you see is Wolverine's adamantium skull, like on his knees with the claws out and everything. It's a really cool cover. You should check that out. But anyways, that's besides the point. Like I said, Wolverine's looking for Nitro, the one who's responsible for the events in Stamford. Cyclops stated that the X-Men would remain neutral. A big thing also that happened was Sue Storm was on the anti-registration side, and Reed Richards was on the registration side. So that even split up the Fantastic Four, which was, pretty wild because, I mean, they were a married couple. So, that was pretty wild. So there was a whole lot of fighting between the anti-registration heroes, known as the Secret Avengers, and the pro-registration heroes. One such battle, Captain America had a hidden device in his hand. He goes to shake Iron Man's hand. He disables the armor and gives him a good old sucker punch. Of course, this started a fight against both sides. A big event in that fight, a clone of Thor was sent to apprehend the anti-registration heroes, and instead of apprehending him, he ended up killing Goliath, blasting him through the chest. So that was a big thing that happened. So Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic ended up creating Project 42, which was a prison in the negative zone for anybody who would not sign up with the registration. The Superhero Registration Act. After hearing about this and having a fight with Iron Man, Spider-Man quit the pro-registration side and joined up with Cap's anti-registration team. And so what eventually happened was a huge battle between the pro-registration heroes and the anti-registration heroes. Cap got the Vision 2 to disable Iron Man's armor. He's getting ready to deliver the final blow, if you will, and he was stopped by non-powered emergency service workers. And so to stop bloodshed and to stop further property damage, Cap ended up surrendering. And then just to draw up the story, 2 weeks later came the 50-state initiative, which every state got its own superpower team. And Tony Stark became the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Some heroes moved to Canada. Some stayed underground. Most of the Secret Avengers, which was the team of anti-registration heroes with Cap, were given amnesty by the government, and Cap was put in jail. Later, whenever Captain America was getting taken to the courthouse to stand trial, he was actually shot by Crossbones and Sharon Carter. And Sharon Carter was actually hypnotized by Dr. Faustus, I guess is his name. I can't really remember. I think it's Dr. Faustus. That's what I got wrote here. And that's pretty much how the Civil War ended. So, I mean, the Civil War was a big, big event. It's a really good comic series. I mean, even if you don't read comics, it's a great series. I think you should really check it out. I mean, I loved it. It's one of my favorite comic book series. I wish I would have collected them, issue by issue, but I was a fool and ended up getting the trade, which I have like every single tie-in, so I have everybody's side of the story. So now to the film. The film Civil War is going to be called Captain America 3 Civil War. It's scheduled to come out May 6th, 2016. Apparently, Kevin Feige, I guess, Feige, he said that the Civil War would be more about world governments demanding accountability and oversight of superheroes instead of them forcibly revealing their true identities to the government and authorities. Because in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, secret identities don't exist. So pretty much the entire story is going to be changed, which is really going to suck because the Civil War, the comic version, was a great series. I mean, a wonderful series. It was, like I said, so good. One of my favorites. But so it's pretty much just going to be about the governments. I'm guessing that in this film that some of the superheroes are going to do something, I guess, messed up, or maybe some of the shit that happens in Avengers 2 is going to affect it or something. I'm not really sure. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this out, although they won't be using the original comic way. The comic, story is going to suck, but, I mean, it's going to take a lot of people to come into the, the story because, I mean, as we know, the Marvel is I guess still owns them, but I believe it's Sony that has Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and I think X-Men as well. So the X-Men and Wolverine wouldn't be able to be in it. Then Spider-Man, there's been talks that he may be able to be in it. We're not sure yet with that either. Mr. Fantastic wouldn't be able to help Iron Man create, Project 42 if they were to go to the comic version. So it's a lot of things that I'm guessing is going to make the film different since, they're owned by so many different companies. What they did say is that Black Panther will make an appearance, or will be in the film. Not an appearance, he'll be in the film. So I'm wondering if they're going to stay with at least the comic story on that and maybe bring up Wakanda, which is Black Panther's, home. So I'm really interested to see what that's all about. I hope you may have learned a little bit about the Marvel Universe from this. If you like this video, give it a like on Facebook, give it a like on YouTube. If you want to see more videos from me, you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be trying to do some more videos here and there about, trailers, comics, whatever. But this is the Doctor signing out. Peace. So, something I forgot to add into that video that I just did was, whenever Sharon Carter shot Cap, that killed him. So, Captain America died at the end of Civil War. That was a big thing, and I'm not sure why I left that out. But, yeah, Captain America dies at the end of Civil War. Big point. Peace.